The dome is the best monument in the game that doesn't have any puzzle areas at all, so you probably want to know everything about it. Well, you've come to the right place, as in this episode of the Rust Monument Guide I'll be showing you everything you need to know about the dome. So first, let's talk about radiation. To completely be immune to the radiation of the dome, you need a radiation protection of 11, but there is no radiation at all until you go inside. So you can loot the barrels around the bottom of the dome and use the oil refineries without any radiation protection at all. The simplest set for this is a set consisting of all burlap shoes, trousers, a shirt, gloves, and a head wrap. This set costs a total of 65 cloth. Apart from this set, on screen now you can see the radiation protection of early game clothes. All you need to do is mix and match these clothes and make sure the radiation protection adds up to at least 11. Now let's move on to the loot you can find here at the dome. Outside the dome you will find barrels and fuel barrels both underneath the dome and on top of these fuel tanks. And just like with many other monuments, you'll also find food crates scattered around the outskirts of its area. And if you start heading inside, you will come across 6 regular crates. 1 on top of this building, 2 on the lower catwalks, 2 on the higher catwalks, and 1 close to the side of the dome, which you can get to by walking across this metal support beam. I would also like to note that when the loot at the dome is fully spawned, then a few of the crates will be stacked, meaning that you can loot them multiple times. You will also find 4 military crates at the top of the dome. And apart from the military crates, you will also find a few barrels and a bit of diesel fuel at the top. On screen now I'll quickly cycle through the loot I got from looting the dome 5 times, so you can get a rough idea of what to expect. Please note that this loot only includes things I found in crates inside the dome, so you should be expecting to find more things if you also loot the barrels. Based on these, we can calculate that the average scrap you'll get from looting the dome and recycling all components is around 290. Now that you know what kind of loot is at the top, you probably want to know how to get up there, so I'll show you. First, locate this metal pipe and climb on top of it. Next, do these 2 jumps. Next, go along this short catwalk and climb up this metal beam. Now turn left and proceed inside the dome. Climb the ladder and go out on the other side. Next, climb up these barrels, then climb up this ladder and follow the catwalk. Next, jump on top of these pipes and jump onto the catwalk on the other side. Then follow the catwalk and re-enter the dome. Proceed to the other side and make this jump. Finally, climb up all of these ramps and congratulations, you've made it to the top. A slightly different way of getting to the top without having to do the final jump is, instead of going into the dome for a second time, turn around and start climbing up this fallen pipe and follow it until you make it to this catwalk. Then climb up the ramps and climb up this ladder and you're at the top. And a third way of getting up also includes climbing up this fallen pipe. But when you reach these 2 wide pipes, jump in between them and start spamming the spacebar as fast as you can. And once you've reached this pipe going across, just jump onto one of the wide pipes and proceed up to the top of the dome under this platform. And if you don't want to do any parkour whatsoever and have a helicopter, then you can just fly directly to the top, take the best loot, and be out of there in no time. If you want to find out more about helicopters in Rust, click the card in the top right corner of the video now. Now that you're up there, you most likely want to know the best way of getting down, so let me show you that. So start going down the ramps I showed you to go up in the first method, but continue straight at the end of this ramp, and line yourself up with these support rods, and while falling, hit both of them to take no damage. Now proceed down the ladder and the barrels, but instead of going back inside the dome, go straight. Jump onto the suspended catwalk by hitting the railing, then jump on top of this tank onto the railing, and finally either simply walk down the spiral stairs or take a shortcut by jumping onto these railings and walk down the stairs to reach the ground. Now let's take a look at the cameras at the dome. There are 2 CCTV cameras in the area of the dome with the following identifiers: Dome 1 and Dome Top. I would like to note that using these cameras to listen for footsteps is much more useful than only using them to see things. When typing these into a computer station, make sure to write them in all caps, as otherwise they won't work. Now let's move on to the services you can find here. In terms of services, the dome is quite lacking as it only has 2 oil refineries. On screen now is the dome as seen from above, and here are the locations of the oil refineries. Finally, I'll show you a few spots you can use to help protect the top from other players. One of these spots is under this ramp. From this spot, you can see people coming on both the lower and the higher catwalks. Another spot is on top of the platform at the top of the ramps inside the dome. From this spot, you can see more or less the same thing. And there is this third spot right underneath this catwalk. From this spot, you can see the higher catwalk and the ramps leading up inside. So that's it from me. I've been Mimish, and if this guide helped you, consider leaving a like and subscribing. If you really enjoy my content, you can join my Discord server and chat with me, or you can become a channel member by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button. Special thanks to Bothered Nickel, Rusty Dio, Mr. Navila, Ray, Alex Lanitu, Arson String, Martin Erickson, Philip Magyar, Mr. Cater, Apostolos Tatiri, and B.A. Williams for supporting me, and thank you guys so much for over 9,850 subscribers.